Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Once again, it's been a while since my last tutorial. Things keep on cropping up, but I'm home this week, so I'm planning to do another one in another few days to make up for lost time. Now, okay, so we're on to the second chapter, transitions. Where are we at? Okay, so we've learned to beat match, and now we want to learn how to actually do a full transition to do the mix. So today I want to get the boring stuff out of the way. You know, no tutorial chapter is complete if I actually don't go through everything involved. So today I want to have a brief discussion on headphones and the headphone parameters on the mixer. At the end, I will give you a lowdown on how I want to spend the next couple of months on the transition chapter, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so let's actually zoom in on my mixer. Now, all mixers are different, but they should give you pretty much the same options. So let's zoom into mine, and hopefully that should be close enough. Okay, so what's going on? Right, okay, there we go. Right, so this is, on my mixer, this is the headphone area, bottom left. When I'm cueing a track, as in the output's going into the headphones, a light comes up, that tells me I'm being cued. And my VU meters change if I'm cueing a track anyway, but we'll talk about that next time. Okay, I've got a split mode. What split mode means is, I can have the cued track playing in one ear, and a live track playing in the other ear. Some people prefer that because they find it easier to mix when the sounds are separated. They can distinguish the beats. I've got a dial here called Q Mix, which only works if split mode is off. With split mode off, both tracks play in both ears. So with Q Mix all the way to the left on Q, I only hear the Q track in my headphones and not the live track. As soon as I go clockwise, 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 more of the live track is being brought into the mix. All the way 100%, then I can hear 100% of the live track. And that's really what you want to do, get to 100%, because then you can actually compare volumes while you're beat matching and make sure everything sounds the same. As long as you're not messing around with EQs, then it's absolutely fine using 100%, and that'll give you a real indication of what's what. Then you got level, which is just the volume level of the headphones. You want it high enough so you can drown out so you can drown out the external sound. Now, obviously, if you're using headphones which are really good quality, that'll drown out the external sound anyway. So you'll be alright there. Then you've got the two jacks, or one jack. I've got two jacks here, a large one, small one, and of course you can use adapters as well. So that's it basically, that's it. For example then, if I'm playing a track here, so if I'm playing something here on the right, then I've got the left on cue. So if I play this, in split mode, that is in my left ear, and the live track is in my right ear. Without split mode, Q mix down to 0%, I hear only the Q track in here. Mix 100%, I hear that and that, both tracks in both ears. And then you got the level, which is just the volume. Let's turn this down. You should be able to hear this. Yeah. Split mode, no split mode. You can't really tell unless I put these on you. Okay, so simple as. Right. Turn that off, turn that off. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about, how long have I got? I've got 6 minutes, that should be plenty. Okay, so spend a few minutes talking about different mixing techniques. I can think of 3 ways of mixing using headphones. Okay, so let's come back up here, get my headphones, right. So the first one is, I've given these names as well, haven't I? Okay, so both ear mode. Alright, so that's the one I prefer. So there's no split mode. I can hear both tracks in both ears. So Q mix is 100%, there's no split mode. I hear the Q track here and here, and the live track here and here. Right? And that's what I prefer. And that's how you mix in when you were messing around beat matching without headphones anyway. When you're doing it live, you know, you hear both tracks with both ears. And I've got used to that. Then you got split mode. Hit split mode on, I hear Q track here, live track here, and I can't really mix like that. You know, my right ear doesn't hear that well anyway, but I've never gotten used to doing that. Some people prefer that. Okay, so that's split mode. Then you got another type of split mode. Keep split on, and what do I call it? Split live mode rather than split headphone mode. And this is what I see a lot of DJs doing in clubs. So they got the Q track here, then they take this one off, and they hear the live track live, not through the headphones. So check out some of the clubs, some of the DJs in the clubs, they do it like that. And basically to do this, you want to make sure the volume of the headphones is loud enough so it matches the volume that you can hear live. You know, if they're different, then it's going to be pretty impossible to actually do the beat matching. Okay. Now, with some headphones like this one, it's got a cool feature here where this right ear actually rotates. So rather than damaging my headphones, I could just go like that. Okay. But I don't use that. I don't use that method. I just use the both mode. I should use all three methods, and I suggest you guys try it as well, because if you become quite handy using all three methods, then it's going to make you a better beat matcher, a better transitioner anyway. So that's it. If you can think of any more methods, then as usual, come on the forum and let us know. You know, if you've got any recommendations of types of headphones, let us know that. Okay, hopefully I've got plenty of time. Right, I'm going to quickly talk about some of the things that I want to discuss in this chapter over the next couple of months. So, the transition phase. Okay, headphones, talked about. On Sunday, hopefully, on Sunday, I'm going to get my head down and do another one. And I'm going to do a simple transition without headphones. We've done beat matching live, but we're going to do a full transition. And then I'm going to talk, talk about what I think are the 4 phases of a transition. So you've got the preparation phase where you beat match, check your gain levels, your VU meters and that kind of thing. Then you can do your release and correct. So you're going to release the track. So we're kind of revisiting some of the old stuff as well. I'm going to talk about a bit of theory about beats, bars and phrases again. We need to make sure you know where to actually release a track. Once you get to the point where you can actually feel the music, then it'll just happen. You know, you might do some stuff which is against the rules that you've learned, you know, but you'll know what sounds good. Just takes practice. Then you got what I call the crossover phase. So you're crossing over to the new track. So the introduction of the new track, then you fade out the old one. You could just cut it off. You could fade it out via volume, you know, or you could fade it out via frequency as well. Just kill off the frequencies, which sometimes works better. Okay. Then we're going to talk about EQ what? EQ dials, EQ knobs, right? Okay, so the only ones I've used really is the bass one. I'm not tending to mess around with the mid one and the high one. So I'm going to start with the bass one and show you what I do. Pretty much do the same thing every time when I'm mixing the trance anyway. So a couple of techniques using the bass EQ. Then I'm going to actually mess around with the mid and high anyway before I do the tutorials on that, but I will actually visit that. It's quite important how frequencies work. Then we're going to do some sampling. So sample a Q track. So killing the 4th beat. You know, using the crossfader, cut into the Q track on the 4th beat. Sampling it and coming back, sampling it and coming back. Crossfader is something else I don't really use, but for some techniques it's useful. Okay, then we're going to come into, what else is there? So sampling mid-tune, playing both tracks and just alternating between them. You know, that I did something like that last week using the Orange theme, and it was wicked, man. Then there's decelerating, using the CDJ's decelerating feature, vinyl feature, then cut into the main track, the Q track. Okay, then we're going to use a drop, where you don't really mix, you just go straight into the Q track. And you can use a backspin. You can actually spin the CDJ platter backwards, get the timing right, and then cut into it. And you might want to beat match anyway when you're doing the drop, because you want the timing to sound right. Then we're going to talk about loop points, which not all of you will have, but I know if you have CDJs, then you'll have loop points anyway. And then we'll talk about developing the style. So we're going to talk about knowing your tracks, and we'll talk about waveform usage. One of you guys actually say to me, it'd be good to get a video on waveform, CDJ waveform display. I haven't forgotten that. I have had a quick look at waveforms, and I'll be honest with you, I think they're pretty useless. If you're not, you know, you can't really tell much about your track with a waveform. It's pretty basic. You really need to know your tracks to know what's going on, and if you know your track, you don't need a waveform display anyway. But I haven't forgotten. I'll mess around with that towards the end of this chapter, because there might be something I can learn about the waveform that we can use. Maybe messing around with frequencies and stuff like that based on the waveform. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, time's running out, so yeah, so it's not been that informative today. We've not actually got our hands dirty, but we will do it Sunday when I do a simple transition. Okay, catch you guys later. Take care. See you in a few days.